Hello and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion's Endurance League. We're here at Sebring. My name's Mark and join me in the commentary booth is Steve. Steve, how you doing?
Lads, can someone drop a pin in here? Because I'm halfway up a mountain and this cannot be the right pace.
Right, I hope Mark Kelly finds his way off of the mountain soon enough and onto the track. Because, Mark Kelly's gone lost.
As I was about to say that, it's fantastic to be here in sunny Florida. Fingers crossed that goat doesn't catch him too quickly and he's able to get on track. Oh dear.
Honestly, that's a bit surprising. We've got a proper menagerie in the commentary box this evening. We've got camels, we've got llamas, we've got goats.
Oh dear. Welcome along to the LOA. We've got some results there from the steward's room. No penalty changes for positions-wise. However, Lewis McManaman does miss this race. And for the GT3s, we've got steward's reports there. Jay Pratt loses three places and 15 championship points, and the rest all gain 1 place and 5 championship points gained due to Jay's obviously demise through that race.
Brilliant, thanks for the update, Steve. So meanwhile, as we look at the endurance standings overall for the GTP class, we've got Hugavin ahead of Malarin.
Yeah, it's looking
216 points.
Looking very tight. My apologies, Matt. Looking very tight at the top there.
It is indeed.
GT3's there. We've got Ben Crook out. Same again, very tight with Joshua Martinez, and he's looking tight on both levels at the moment.
So now let's have a look at the grid. On pole position we have Rob Miller ahead of Stephen Maxwell, Zhao Tome and Don Parker. Your first 2 rows. Forrester and Kelly on row 3, a relatively small GTP grid this time out.
Yeah, it is very small, very disappointing really. And here we have the GT3 grid. We have Joshua Martinez, followed by Alex Murphy, and then we have row 2 David Ward and Jay Pratt. Row 3 we have Matthew Hansel, followed by Charles Kicks, and row 4 is Jack Haynes and Paolo Tempera. It's better with my glasses on, you know. Row 5 is Ben Chalcraft and Rich Meisters. Row 6 is Max Derrida. Welcome, Max, a new driver there for us. And Zachary Leopold. Or is it Leibold? Answers on a postcard.
I don't know, we should probably ask him.
Definitely. Row 7, Carl Hudson and Danny Chan. And then row 8 is Steve Pepper and Clayton Buller. Row 9 is James Pepper and then Kenneth Olive. Row 10, Fabio Oliveira and Peter McIntyre. People notice that there is now a new car on board and it's the new McLaren. So looking forward to seeing how that works on here. And row 11, bringing up the rear is Mark Kelly and Philip Miles.
Mark Kelly, of course, only making the grid if he finds his way back down off of the mountain and loses the goat somehow.
I think he should get a bit quicker. Being chased by a goat.
The goat chasing him, yeah.
Definitely. It's a long pace lap position.
It is, definitely. And it's probably worth pointing out Alex Murphy, that is the same Alex Murphy that's been driving the GTPs all year. He decided that he's probably got a lower chance of crashing with Stephen Maxwell if he goes in the GT3. We will see how that ends up because, these cars don't always get along. But that's what he's thinking for this race. He's going to try his hand at the GT3s.
Yeah, welcome along, Alex. Obviously, right at the front again, as per usual. He's a very fast driver. We'll see how he copes with the McLaren and Joshua Martinez as well, because Joshua's no slouch. It'll be interesting to see how Joshua has done really the last couple of races, copes with the speed of Alex Murphy, you know.
Some notable People missing from the grid tonight. We have no Thierry Malarin and no Marin Hugovin.
Well said, sir.
Thank you. So a lot of these guys have been up the Lake District and earlier today and managed to get back to their rigs in time for the race.
Just remember.
Unfortunately, Malarin is currently on a plane.
Just remember, what went on in the lakes stays in the lakes.
That is very true.
And here's next year. These cars sound great, don't they? The rumble of engines going past.
They do indeed, yeah.
You'll have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, so if I do cough, then I apologise.
No worries, Steve. So, as we wait for the cars to make their way around the pace lap, nice gap between the GT3 and the GTP field. We have Rob Miller on pole position. And he drove very well last time out at Fuji, but unfortunately had a hardware failure. So, yeah, fingers crossed he's got it sorted for this race.
Yeah, it's always been a bit of a shame, really, to see Rob struggle with either hardware or other issues. So fingers crossed he can have a good race this evening.
So we see the drivers approaching sunset. This will feel like ages. We see little weaves throughout the field. They try and get some brake and tyre temperature into their cars at the very last moment before they are up to full racing speed.
I'm not sure how much that actually assists. Just tiddly little wiggles like that. I've always been of the opinion that you need to be going quick round corners to put heat into your tyres.
Yeah, it makes a negligible difference. Certainly there, but I probably couldn't notice it. And we are racing once again at Sebring. Rob Miller, foot to the floor, takes the green flag, and he looks like he will comfortably hold his pole position into the first corner. We've got behind Jao Tome, just did have a little look up the inside of Stephen Maxwell, but decided to slot back in. And I think, we've got 4 different manufacturers in the top 4 in both the GTP and the GT3 field. So, nice variety of manufacturers. As we see, this is said GT3 field, and we've got a change for the lead. Oh, that's contact behind. That's Zach Liebold and Danny Chan involved. Chan going spinning off the track and came back on to collect Liebold.
It looks as though that could be a little bit of llama slaughter as well, because it looks as though Clayton Buller was involved.
Clayton definitely was involved, there we go. Oh, just caught right at the very end. It looked like Clayton was going to be able to get around that, but unfortunately not.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate incident. First lap incident, that typical.
Yeah. Indeed, but that'll go to the stewards and we'll see what they say. So, all change at the front then of the GT3 field, as we see Murphy, I believe, ahead of Martinez.
Yeah, I think Alex had taken the lead straight from the get-go, to be honest. He was first into that into turn 1, so he's really bolted.
And there is David Ward, Wardy in his Ford Mustang. I have to admit, I do like that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, it's a great car. The engine just is worth the money just to listen to it.
I wholeheartedly agree with you there. So now that Murphy has made the jump into the lead, we'll see if he can stretch his legs up the front a little bit. Maybe try and build a gap, as we see Rob Miller has done. 1.1 seconds already to Stephen Maxwell. Martinez only 6/10 back. He's still very much in slipstream range. So, yeah, he could certainly be thinking about fuel saving. Maybe trying to jump Murphy at the first round of pit stops. It's still very early in this race.
Yeah, I'll be trying every trick in the book now to either catch or pass him in the pit stop strategies. So we'll see how that plays out in the next few, or certainly next dozen or so laps.
Matt Hansel now looking quite racy on the back of David Ward. Let's see if he goes for a move. Charles Kitts as well, quite close to the back of Jay Pratt.
Yeah, is Charles new, or was Charles in the Fuji? I think it was at Fuji, wasn't it? Was Charles?
I don't think Charles was at Fuji, so I think, he's a new driver as well.
Driver.
So welcome
along
to Charles.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to see more and more people joining and giving it a go.
Oh, definitely. As we see, we're now starting to develop a chain of 4 cars. Matt Hansel, a little bit of a cork in the bottle. He's got a 1.7 second gap to Pratt. To Wardy ahead. It's a bit of a change. Maybe he's made a mistake, hasn't he? Because he was sort of really pressuring David Ward.
Yeah, he was. There's no.
Oh, sorry, that's Jay Pratt.
Yes, it is.
That's Jay Pratt. That's the cork in the bottle, not Hansel. So Pratt, and sorry, a little bit of cork in the bottle at the moment with Kitts, Tempera, and Haynes all in that line of 4, just behind him.
And when you look down the line, there's loads of battles. There's just small 2, 3, 4 car battles all the way down the line. So that bodes well for the rest of the race.
It does indeed. So, Steve, why don't you talk to me about strategy? What's the weather going to be like?
Clear, and more clear. Oh, we had a spinner there.
Oh, that was Matt Hansel.
Yeah, there's no such thing as rain in Florida. No, the temperature was. There we go. That's just Matt just losing the rear end there and just going off the track.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a little bit of a touch into the back of Ward, but if there was, Ward looks like he has no damage, or very minimal damage at least.
Yeah, he'll be fine with that. Yeah, as we were saying, the forecast for today was extremely clear. We may run into, obviously it's starting to set in the sun, so we're looking at going towards late evening. So the temperatures will come down a little bit. We're obviously we're at 30 degrees at the moment, but there's no sign of any sort of rain, so it'll be crystal clear, and we should get some good running.
And we have I'm going to trigger the Formula Arms here and ask, is this a Hansel sandwich or a pepper sandwich? So now every time the Formula Arms stream, they have an argument amongst themselves about whether that would be a Hansel sandwich or a pepper sandwich. Answers in the chat below, or just go and invade their live streams. They are Formula Armors on YouTube, and yeah, just go and
Technically speaking, I would jump in and say, if it's a sandwich and you've got 2 pieces of bread, then it's not a bread sandwich, it's the filling in the middle. However, when you're racing cars, if there's 2 of them and you're in the middle, you're not the meat in the sandwich, but you're the one between, which means you're in a pepper sandwich. There you go. Firmly.
Yeah, I think that's the very logical answer, Steve. But you know, the Formula Armors ain't logical.
Have we seen Matt Kelly?
So make sure you check out their streams. Make sure you check out the Formula Armors streams and go and comment on whether you think that would be a Hansel sandwich or a pepper sandwich.
Definitely.
Or whether, like me, you're feeling a bit peckish and you just want a ham sandwich. Meanwhile, we've got up at the front, still no change in the GT3 or the GTP field, actually. Murphy and Martinez are starting to make a bit of a break away from Ward.
Yeah, there's definite groups.
That gap's now up to 3 seconds.
My apologies, Mark. There's definite groups appearing where, as you say, you've got the first two or three that are 2.5 seconds between them. Obviously, Alex is he's pulling away just that little bit, and then you've got 3 or 4 cars, and once again 3 or 4 cars. So this is shaping into like little groups that are having private battles.
Yeah, and certainly in the GTP field as well, we've got Miller, Maxwell and Tomei starting to spread out, and quite a big gap now to Parker and Kelly, who look like they're having a nice little fight. Haynes, meanwhile, on board in 8th, and you can see that green Mustang, the cool camel McLaren of Meesters right behind him.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers who've gone over to the McLaren. It seems to be a very, very popular car.
It is a lovely car, yeah.
Oh, it's great to drive.
So Meesters right, tucked up behind Haynes, who is tucked up behind Chalcraft. Will Meesters make a move? No, he doesn't. Not into the hairpin, at least. But he's looking like he's got a little bit more pace at the moment, which he will try and unlock. And here we have Philip Miles right behind Mark Kelly. He did make it to the grid. We do have to watch out for goats, though. Need to keep the goats safe, and we need to keep the dobbies safe as well.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, this 3-car battle, Shellcraft, Haynes and Meesters still raging this lap. No change as of yet. About 15 minutes into the race, and I think we'll probably start expecting pit stops in maybe 20-25 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think that time's a little bit out, Matt, because by the time we got to the green flag, we'd already done just over 5 minutes of either waiting around or touring around the track. So we've got Matt Hansel again.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah, just a little bit too high on the curbs and nudged into the wall.
Yeah, it's so easy. I think we'll see quite a few of those.
Definitely. And the painful wait for a gap to rejoin as he does the Austin Powers style 50,000 point turn.
That's so disappointing when you just can't quite get back on track.
Yeah.
Insult to injury, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, we have GTPs getting through traffic right now. Maxwell all over the back of Miller. Will he be able to seize an opportunity in traffic? And as Miller got slightly held up by Pepper there, will Maxwell be able to make the move? Miller feels like he has to defend the inside, but Maxwell can't quite make the move. All this has brought Tomei back into the mix as well. So could Tomei pounce on both of them and take the lead?
It's very possible. I mean, all we need is just a little bit more traffic, and that would hold the other two leads up, and Zhao could quite easily just skip down the outside.
As we see the stupid Aguri GTPs also trying to make their way through the GT3s. Oh, Maxwell going slightly wide, having to run over the curbs there. Going very wide, that's let Tomei through. Not disastrous for Maxwell, but that has opened up a little bit of a gap to Miller.
Miller.
So see now this three.
Sorry.
Apologies, Steve.
I'm just going to say that this is where Miller really needs to put the hammer down and put some GT3s between him. So trying to, put these between them will slow the others down, and he could maybe make a break for it.
It could, but as you can see, that gap is already coming down to sort of 1.2 seconds or so. Meanwhile, this three-car battle, as we see Haynes pulls out to the inside to defend and attack at the same time. Can't quite get past Chalcraft, but successfully defended from Meesters. But we'll see how they cope in the run up to the next corner. As we see Miller able to make his way through traffic without too much chaos. Maxwell and Tomei behind, finding it a little bit more challenging. Finding cars where they want to position theirs. As we see a flash of the lights from Tomei. I think Miller's made a slight mistake, maybe couldn't get on the throttle as quickly as he wanted to, and suddenly Tomei is there, filling his mirrors with the flash of the headlights. Quite a tight line there from Tomei. He's sucked into the slipstream. Meanwhile, Murphy's checked out a little bit at the front of the GT3 field, as we see, oh, that's a lot of cars all going, or attempting to go side by side. We've got, that's Pepper, Mark Kelly, Philip Miles, Zach Liebold, I think.
That's Pete McIntyre.
Pete McIntyre at the head of that chain.
Now, this is a battle for honour then, Llamas and Camels.
Llamas, Camels, and Philip Miles, who is not an animal.
He's a free man.
Philip Miles there, hugging the inside line, trying to get a better exit than Kelly, but Kelly going that much wider. Looks like he's been able to carry a lot more speed out on the exit. And it looked like Miles got passed by Liebold as well. Now up at the front, we see Parker making his way through the leading GT3s. There is Clayton Buller just ahead of David Ward. Clayton obviously a lap down after that first lap incident.
Clayton must have taken a bit of damage as well on the back end when he made contact. And that was Pepper challenging.
Pete McIntyre went wide, and Pepper's got through. And a little flash of the lights there.
Nah, there is a little story there. Steve Pepper actually flashed Pete McIntyre going down that corner when he got past. So there was a little bit of cheeky flash there.
Gamesmanship.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, Jay Pratt getting past Clayton Buller. So Pepper's got past McIntyre. Can he start to build a gap? Looks like already in this sort of half a lap or so, he's making quite a big dent and really putting some distance. McIntyre goes slightly wide through the grass. We've got Liebold attacking Kelly as well. Both of them will be on the back of McIntyre by the end of this stretch as they approach sunset. But looks like no change in positions. Miles there just sitting back, watching the chaos unfold in front of him.
The thing is, with Sunset, there's probably two lines into it. There's a tighter line, and then there's a wider line. Obviously, they converge at a point, and sometimes you get a car going in the inside and one on the outside, and they actually meet in the middle. So you've got to watch what you're doing.
And to be honest, Steve, I think there's probably a little bit more than two lines through Sunset. I think I've found about 70 of them, and I can never work out which one I'm actually doing until I do it. One of them will probably be optimal.
Well, it actually looks
as we see Miller.
My apologies.
Oh, hang on. Miller's been passed by Tomei.
He has, yeah. And there was a change as well, because
We missed that.
both Mark Kelly and Leopold have both got past Pete McIntyre.
Of course, all three are llamas, and their obvious wider goal is to beat the camels. So maybe Pete's sort of gotten on the radio and said, "Look, lads, you're quicker than me. I won't hold you up. Go beat them camels."
So if you had all three llamas in the same positions, would that be a stable?
I guess it would be. What happens if you get four llamas side by side?
Very crowded.
And 5 llamas? I think that's what some people might call a nightmare.
Definitely.
Unless you're a camel, in which case just 1 llama is enough to be a nightmare.
That'd be a target.
So Miller now looks like he might be struggling a little bit in this phase of the race. We saw him get so close to the wall, he actually scraped it slightly into turn 1. Maxwell looks like he's attacking. It could be tyres, it could be fuel, it could be energy. Maybe he's just sort of overheated the tyres a little bit. Maybe he's just not used to being so close and running in that dirty air. Not sure, but what we do know is Miller is a flipping rapid guy, and he will catch up and will be challenging for the lead again at some point.
Oh yeah, I mean, Rob Miller's one of the fastest guys on the track, so, and in the group, so he'll be there or thereabouts, as long as obviously we have no more issues with out of his control things. Should we say? As we speak.
That's a spin for Miller and backwards into the wall.
That's a heavy contact.
That is a heavy contact. So we'll see if he goes for the pits or whether he feels like it's okay to continue. He's still out on track, so he'll be assessing damage. He is still in 3rd. He had a nice gap. But what happened? Yeah, it looks like he just lost the rear.
Yeah, he's been struggling with tyres, so maybe they just give up at the back end. That's continuing. Oh, he's lost the rear.
He's lost his rear wing.
Well. Yeah. That's not it wouldn't good in this type of corner.
And he's he's spun again. So obviously no rear downforce into turn 1. Took it a bit too hot.
Yeah.
And he's decided, no, that's enough.
I'm just wondering whether they didn't realise. Yeah, I just wondering whether they didn't realise that he didn't have a rear wing when he went to that first corner.
More than likely, yeah. But thankfully, he will have a fast repair. So that looks like it's all but ended his chance of victory, as we see in the corner a little spin for Steve Pepper. But hopefully with a fast repair, Miller will be able to get back on the road quickly. And Pepper nudges into the barriers and lets that chain of llamas back past.
That was the same.
Honest, I think he'll be more annoyed about.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve.
No, sorry, Matt. I think it was the same place as Matt Ansell had his little incident as well.
Exactly, yeah.
And as you said, I think he'd be more upset or more disappointed to let the llamas past.
Right, so Jack Haynes has got past Ben Chalcraft. Rich Meesters is still with them. Rich Meesters looking very aggressive there. All of them, I think, are starting to slowly rein in Tempera. As we see, here's what happened with Chalcraft and Haynes. Chalcraft didn't see that coming. Haynes just late on the brakes. Absolutely licked the stamp and sent it.
Yeah,
that was a brilliant move there by Haynes. He was miles back.
He was. It looked as though there was a little bit of contact there just as they entered the corner. So it would indicate that Chalcraft didn't actually know it was coming and wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I think Haynes very much caught him by surprise.
Very much.
And yeah, like you said, some minor contact there, but nothing too major.
No.
I know we certainly don't encourage the whole sort of British touring car rubbing his racing mentality, but stuff like that seems relatively okay.
Yeah, that was just a simple. It wasn't. He didn't realise he was there and turned the corner apex, and didn't realise that he'd actually got down the inside of him. There's a big send on the inside, but yeah, I'd say it's all fair.
So Mark Kelly and Zach Liebold have bolted down the road from Peter McIntyre. As we see, back to this battle between Chalcraft and Meisters. Haynes is starting to check out a little bit. Meisters still on the back of Chalcraft. So, oh, and hang on, we had another change for the lead in the GTPs. Maxwell's ahead of Tony.
Yeah, it snuck that one through.
So, yeah, not sure when that happened.
I think that was when there was a lot going on with spins and things like that. So it's quite easy to take the eyes off the main screen and just concentrate on the replay just to see what was going on that first. And then obviously little things happen where, I mean, obviously Stephen Maxwell's got past Tommy and he's just not been not seen it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Haynes now has Clayton Buller, who's a lap down right in front of him, as we see a spin for Miles. So Miles had just gotten past Peter McIntyre. As we see Clayton there letting Haynes past. Yeah, Haynes is now really caught up to Tempera for 6th.
It's still a very close battle between these three. Anybody could, just one mistake and the other two or three.
It certainly is, yeah. And sort of a bit behind there, we can just see coming into shot at the back. We've got Danny Chan and Max Ridder. Both sort of look like they're having a fairly decent battle. That's over 11th and 10th and 11th. As we see Clayton Buller being very respectful and pulling out the way for all these guys not to interfere in their race. But Meisters now, he can pull close to Chalcraft, but yeah, I think he's going to need to do a Jack Haynes style lick the stamp and send it approach if he wants to try and get past, or try and pressure Chalcraft into a mistake. But having raced Chalcraft, I know that that is easier said than done. As we see Jack Haynes through the dirt there, poor exit as he attacks Tempera.
Yeah, Chalcraft's very consistent with how he races, so he's not going to make those. He tends not to make a lot of mistakes through the race. So it's going to be one and far between for Rich. He's got to get really close to them, try and make a challenge either to that last turn there or turn 1.
Tempera is already under attack from Jack Haynes, but you also get the impression that it's only going to be a matter of time before he's under attack from Chalcraft and Meisters as well.
Yeah, they're all starting to bunch up now. Oh, we have one off there.
Oh, we've got a car off.
That looked like Stephen Maxwell.
That is Maxwell. From the lead of the GTPs. As we see, Hudson has also had a spin in the bottom left corner. Where's that? That's, oh yeah, coming out of Tower.
Yeah, just keeps it out of the wall though. No harm done.
So after that spin, Maxwell has lost the lead to Tomei, but only just. Maxwell is still right in that fight, but I didn't see if he hit the wall. As we see,
Ooh,
yes, he did hit the wall, so he will have
Yeah.
damage. How much damage remains to be seen. We will find out as the race goes on, but yeah, he is now walking wounded.
Yeah, it looked as though it was just on that rear end plate, so there may not be a lot of damage, but it will probably hold up. Olive with the spin as well.
Indeed, and that's dropped him back to the fight between Zach Liebold and Fabio Oliveira. So Tomei pulls out to overtake Charles Kitts. Kitts is having a good race, on debut.
He is extremely good. Yeah, very
As
impressed.
we hear someone hit the wall, and
Tomei.
there it is. It's Tomei in the wall. So as we see Maxwell heading to the pits. So Maxwell's, he's probably far enough into this race that he can make it on one more stop. It's a little bit early, so suboptimal, but not the end of the world. Tomei, however, with that big hit on the wall, I reckon he'll probably have to head in as well.
I would think so, yeah. Maybe quite a bit of damage to the side of that car.
So that our original top three of Miller, Maxwell and Tomei have decided to hit the wall in that order.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Miller,
Miller's,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's just
Sorry,
about to say. No, I'm just about to say that Miller unfortunately had to retire. Oh, a bit of a snap there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Tomei hit the wall on entry, and that just unsettled the car slightly, and he was trying to hold it, and then it just snapped, and he caught the snap, but unfortunately meant that he was on a trip to the wall. As we see Miles, that's coming onto the back straight. And reverses back onto the track. Hope there are no cars coming. And there are not. There is a man who checks his relative. Well done, that man.
Yeah, it looks as though he was quite safe there.
So that puts Parker up to second. And I highly imagine that Tomei will be pitting at the end of this lap. And Mises has got past Chalcraft and all of that. What's happened to Chalcraft? Chalcraft's nowhere to be seen.
I wonder if there's been an incident then, unless he's gone into the pits.
He could have done. In fact, he's looking at the leaderboard. Oliveira's about 30 seconds behind this lot. And yeah, can't see Chalcraft ahead of him. So I think Chalcraft must have pitted. All these lot come into pits as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Chalcraft can make the undercut work here and get past them after making the initial pit stop.
We can see as we hear someone else scraping the wall. A little bit of a lull on track for the moment. As we see, in comes Oliveira.
A lot of cars in the pits.
I see both the Stupid Aguris in the pits, as is Forrester in the GTP field. Tomei has pitted. And Maxwell regains the lead. So in the GT3 field, Murphy managed to go the extra lap, as did Kenneth Olive. So that huge gap that Murphy has will only last until the end of this lap. So
Mises
there we go.
actually
Mises is ahead of Chalcraft now.
Yeah,
so Chalcraft obviously pitted early. Mises had that extra lap on nice warm tyres, low fuel, popped in a good lap, and has managed to come out just ahead of Chalcraft.
That's a great result for Rich there. Managing to get past.
Now, of course, this pit stop, they both would have put the full amount of fuel in. But for the next pit stop, would be their last pit stop, so they might not need to put a full tank of fuel in. As we see Gavin Kelly there spin on cold tyres as he exits the pits. Remember, cold tyres, cold brakes.
The golden rule.
Yes. And Liebold has done exactly the same. So yeah, that's through sunset. So yeah, so as I was saying, with Meesters and Chalcraft, this pit stop should have been fairly equal, but the next pit stop, Chalcraft again will probably pit a lap earlier, as we see Chalcraft getting a better run through sunset and getting past Meesters.
Yeah, Meesters
Miles
was very well.
spins.
Identical spin.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Meesters' next pit stop should, well, I mean, he should be able to go, if not one, maybe 2 laps longer than Chalcraft. Which means that Chalcraft will probably need close to a full tank of fuel. Meesters will only need 2 laps less. So next pit stop, he'll have the overcut again, and his pit stop will be shorter. So he'll have even more of an advantage next time. So yeah, I think Chalcraft should be worried. Meesters doesn't need to be ahead on track. He does have a slightly better pit strategy. So as long as Meesters can sort of stay within touching distance, he should be able to jump Chalcraft in the pits. Of course, if he can get the move done on track, then that's even better.
Yeah, well, obviously, Ben will be conscious of that, and he'll be trying to make a break as well and build that gap to Rich Meesters behind him, so that it covers that deficit that it possibly has with the pit stop.
Indeed. As you see, Paolo Tempera must have had a fairly bad pit stop, because he was ahead of that Chalcraft Meesters battle. But he's dropped behind them now. As we see Kelly getting past Kits. So Maxwell's now about a second ahead of Tomei. Well, having said that, Tomei closes right up under braking. So yeah, this fight for the lead in GTP is certainly not over.
Definitely not. No, I mean, this has been going on since lap 1, and they looked at us so evenly matched that there's not a great deal between them at all. It's just one mistake away from making a break.
Meanwhile, we've got Matthew Hansel just half a second behind Paolo Tempera. So we'll have to see. Meesters and Chalcraft looked like they were quicker than Tempera in the previous stint, but we don't know why. That could have been Tempera was sort of, maybe he had a bit of damage that he got fixed in the pit stop, maybe he had overheated his tyres, we're not quite sure. So yeah, it'll be good to see if Tempera can sort of maybe try and attack back, whether he can find some of that pace that he was maybe missing in the first stint.
Little flash of the lights there.
Flash of the lights there.
From Chris there.
Yeah. Forrester pulls to the inside. Yeah, Meesters is able to stay in that sort of half second to 1 second gap back from Chalcraft.
You know, just seeing those in to out and out to in lines there that people take. It's fascinating to see how people take that corner.
Hansel now right behind Tempera. And goes to the inside, not quite late enough on the brakes. Tempera holds that position. That's quite a tricky corner to overtake. Tempera did look like he went slightly defensive, but Hansel dove to the inside. Absolutely forced that inside line, but didn't make the move stick. Buller, meanwhile, will have an absolutely brilliant view of this. As we see Hansel now to the outside. Tempera will have the better line, but Hansel's got more speed and he's ahead by the time they reach the braking zone.
Yeah, that was a great pass there. I think that was actually set up the 1 or 2 corners before that, just to get the extra pace going down that long straight into the hairpin there. Well, no, but
oh yeah, certainly.
Well set up and great manoeuvre.
Yeah. You see Maxwell still managing to cling on to his lead as himself and Tomei weave through the GT3 traffic. A little bit of a gap now before the next few cars. So yeah, Tempera has dropped back sort of by about a second or two from Meesters and Chalcraft. So we'll see if that was just a consequence of that of himself and Hansel fighting. As we see, there is Meesters looking aggressive, trying to get past Chalcraft once again. 2 different corners through Sunset. And we'll see, Meesters couldn't make it stick. Liebold, I think. No, sorry, that was Kelly getting a little bit sideways onto the backstretch. Tomei with so much speed on entry to Sunset.
This will be interesting.
Yeah, Tomei to the inside. Can he get the position? Not quite. He carried a lot more sort of entry and mid-corner speed, but that sacrificed his exit.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of the better part of Valor and just backed out of that.
Something's happened to Chalcraft as he's dropped about 3 positions and is now stuck in a sandwich between Tempera and Buller.
Yeah, hopefully if it was some sort of major incident, we'll get a replay for that.
We'll wait and see. Have you been paying the replay monkeys, Steve?
Probably not quite as much as I should have been doing. I think I was a banana short.
Fight between Maxwell and Tomei, still they are separated by just sort of 3 or 4 tenths of a second. Tomei very much looks like he's more comfortable in this phase of the race.
And looking at the top of the GT3s, it's still very close between Murphy and Martin as well. Only 2 seconds, but they've pulled away massively from David Ward there in 3rd place, who's now 11 seconds behind that battle for 1st and 2nd.
Yeah. So 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, all the way back to this battle that we're watching on screen now. They're all sort of a bit on their own, to be honest. No one sort of within a couple of seconds ahead or behind of them for all of that sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, it's very close from, like you say, down from 7th to at least 10th. They're all battling within that 3 to 4 seconds gap.
So Maxwell still ahead of Tomei. But still a long, long way to go in this race. We've just hit sort of half distance. So a lot of this race is still to do.
Yeah, it seems to have gone quickly though. A lot of action.
It has gone quickly, yeah.
I think Sebring is one of those. Sorry, Mike. Carry on.
That is Hansel trying to get past Meesters. And he does so. Well, Meesters coming back in the second stage of Sunset, but he's going to be way too wide as we see Hansel dive to the bits.
Yeah, it looked as though Rich there had to back out slightly because obviously the GTP's on the inside of him, and it looked as though he got a little bit close to Hansel and had to back out of that.
Yeah.
As I was going to say a bit earlier, Meesters a little bit wide there.
He's gathered it up well.
Give Chalcraft the run though.
And that lets Chalcraft back. Will Chalcraft be able to do a double? Meesters has the better line. Who can be later on the brakes? Meesters holds it for now. Chalcraft's got a super exit, and will he be able to challenge down to turn 10? He goes to the inside, late on the brakes. Not quite late enough though.
No, Rich had that, left it as late as he possibly could.
So these three remain in the same order: Meesters, Chalcraft, Tampera.
Clayton Buller with a watching brief right behind them. Is it Kenneth Oliver having a spin there?
Yeah, just got a little bit too wide. And yeah, that gravel gives you no grip. Oh, that was a big hit into the wall. Stopped him
heavy.
Almost immediately. And again, that man keeps an eye on his relative. We've got Don Parker making his way past in the GTP. These three remain as they were.
A little bit wide there by Chalcraft.
Wide, yeah, that's because he had Tempera on his inside.
Yeah, we just couldn't quite see that.
Right, so yeah, Tempera forcing the move on Chalcraft.
Oh, the replay of James Pepper, the cone killer. Oh, that was close.
That was close.
I think James playing Skittles getting bored.
Yeah, so Pepper's had a fairly quiet race, to be honest. He's about 10 seconds behind Widder and about 10 seconds ahead of Pepper Senior.
Yeah, he has. And obviously, I think Steve Pepper had a bit of a, because of his incident earlier, he had an early pit stop, so he's actually running out of sync with everybody else.
Yes, that's right. So I'll have to see. Yeah, so Pepper has done a 10-lap stint, whereas everyone else did 15 laps the first time round. So meanwhile, these two at the head of the field still fighting wheel to wheel. Tomei certainly looks like he's quicker at the moment, but is that just slipstream affected? Chalcraft now dropped about a second behind Tempera, still sort of within the draft range, but just not quite close enough to be able to attack. So yeah, I think in the first stint we saw Tempera just sort of slip backwards towards these guys. Then after Meesters and Chalcraft jumped Tempera in the pits, Tempera's looked like he's the quicker driver.
He has, yeah. Whether it's something to do with tyres or what, I don't know. But yeah, he has certainly come to the fore at the moment with the extra speed. It'll be interesting to see whether that continues in the next few laps, or whether it's something that has affected the other two drivers.
Yeah, whether it's just a case of Tempera attacks more at the start of the stint and uses more of his tyres.
Yeah,
I don't
possibly.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, each driver's a different way of using the grip that they have got in the early stages. Some like to try and preserve and take it a little bit longer. Others eat as much as they possibly can in the early time to try and make as much gain as they can do on the cars either behind or in front of them.
And you can see visually just how much Tempera's closed on Meesters. And we see Tomei going for the overtake late on the brakes. He's got alongside and absolutely steals that position back from Maxwell.
Yeah, nice overtake that. He gave Stephen Maxwell nowhere to go. Yeah, nowhere to go there. Just slid it down the inside and forced Stephen to take the outside of that corner.
Now, we know that Tomei looked like he was the quicker of these two drivers when he was behind, so now we'll get to find out, was he actually quicker, or was it just the slipstream helping him out?
I think these two drivers are so evenly matched. They've shown that all the way through now. If there was going to be...
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, if there was going to be so much of a difference and what have you between the drivers, it would have shown by now. So the fact that they're so close, but within, half a second of each other, and they've been going at it for 50 minutes, this is going to continue. Barring anything else happening, this is going to continue right till the end of it.
Oh yeah, both of them getting so close to the wall there. Yeah, certainly at the moment, in the sort of the lap or so that it's been, Tomei doesn't look like he's able to pull away.
No, that would suggest a bit of that was slipstream as well.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if Stephen can work out how to get past him now.
Yeah, or does he just sort of play the long game, sit behind Tomei, just sort of save of a bit of fuel, use that slipstream to your effect, to your own personal gain?
Yeah. I mean, if this was a run to the end, I would suggest he would be trying to go and give it full beans every time. But with him still having a pit stop left, I would potentially be looking at fuel saving and trying to pass him in the pit stop.
Yeah, we're looking at maybe 5 or 6 laps left on the stint.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Even a couple of litres can make a difference in a pit stop.
Oh yeah, hugely.
That's Mark Kelly, not up a mountain.
No. And he doesn't have a goat behind him, he's got a llama behind him. And Fabio Oliveira in front of him.
It was a bit deep there.
As we see Tomei, very late on the brakes, very eager to get past these GTP drivers. Try and put a bit of distance between himself and Maxwell.
Ooh, very wide there from Stephen Maxwell as well.
Yeah, I wonder if that was sort of controlled.
Oh yeah, I'd
actively
say
going wide to.
Yeah, I think it was
keep
very
his foot in,
controlled. Yeah, definitely. It was very, very quick to get past through the GT3s.
Oh, there goes Kelly.
Yep. He's got back again.
Yeah, he just about gets it stopped, but loses all momentum, and that's that Liebold past.
And Olivier has used the switchback well there to get the place back.
Yeah. And round goes Kelly. That was a spin there in the background for Mark Kelly as he applied the power coming onto the back straight.
Yeah, it's so easily done.
So yeah, here we go. Tempera has really closed down on Meisters. Maxwell so close to the back of him. As they weave through Pepper. Tomei placing his car just where he needs to. I think he's proving very well that both of those drivers are incredibly talented. Both very evenly matched.
Definitely. I think he's going to make a mistake. It'd be a mistake from one of them that lets the other one take the race, to be honest.
Yeah.
We have to see if Leopold can find a way around Oliveira now. See if he can work it out.
He certainly looks racy. Yeah, he's got a good run here. So yeah, Zachary Leopold pulls out to overtake. Hansel behind, does have a little look. Thinks better of it. Leopold has the position on entry to Sunset. Will he be able to keep it on exit? Still these two fighting.
Oh, contact.
That's contact. Who was that? Was that Oliveira and Liebold?
No, it was Hansel. It looked like...
Was it Hansel?
Yeah, it looked like Hansel had gone down the inside. And here we go. Down the inside. Oliveira just touches the rear quarter and sends him round. But I think Oliveira spins as well. Yep.
Yes, he did.
Double spin there. Oh,
and Liebold spun in sympathy
as well. All three. 2 corners.
Liebold thought, oh, hang on, I was having a good fight there. I don't want to lose you guys.
Oh, I thought you were going to get it beached then.
Nearly.
And this is Zach spinning sympathy.
It also appears that Tempera's got past Meesters.
He has, yes.
So, yeah, expecting these GT3 drives to come in the next sort of couple of laps. Apart from Hansel, who is off strategy. In fact, we're expecting the GTPs in momentarily as well.
It'll be interesting to see if anybody's been able to save any fuel while they've been in the slipstream, or whether they've just been gunning it and to hell with fuel saving.
Or at least for the GTPs, have they been saving the battery? That's
This
another thing
is
to
true,
consider.
yeah.
Nisa's now just behind Tempera.
So who's going to blink first?
Maxwell did come in a lap earlier last time round, so yep, and there we go. Maxwell into the pits. Mises got ahead of Tempera, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Something's happened to Mises.
It looks like there's bits of camel on the track.
That's a fairly gruesome picture.
Yes, just a little bit. I'm just wondering whether Rich has lost it into sunset. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. So...
So there was
that's a
contact.
big hit.
There was contact between Mises and Tempera.
Yeah, so Mises was a long way back, but Tempera looked like he was going very wide. Mises up the inside.
That'll be one for the stewards, I think. That's a very scary thing, though, when you see another car on the in the middle of the track, sideways, and you've got to try and miss them. So Rich did well to hold his brakes and just make himself a stationary target rather than moving around.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, you would hope that there are yellow flags out, but let's be honest, we know people don't listen to yellow flags.
Sometimes.
It certainly feels like yellow flags don't mean danger, slow down. It means, oh, freebies.
Get past as quick as I can.
Yeah.
I think that tends to be in officials, though, to be honest. And we've got another raft of pit stops.
So that's David Ward in, that's Pratt and Haynes in. both of the GTPs are in. Oh no, sorry, no, only Maxwell's in. Tomei... Oh, I think Tomei's in the pits at the moment. Which promotes Don Parker, king of fuel saving, up to the lead of the race.
Yeah,
he's, of course, due a pit stop.
He is. He's done 17 and 17 again now, so... Will this give him 18 laps? Or is he on the 17th lap? I can never work it out.
I'm not sure. We'll find out when we get to the end of this lap.
I can't see him going much further than this lap.
Yeah. Maxwell, though, did get past Tomei in the pit stops. So that is for the net race lead. So Tempera now has Hansel right behind him. Hansel will be fairly light on fuel. He's due a pit stop in maybe 5 or 6 laps. Tempera has just come out of the pits. So yeah, I expect Hansel to get past relatively easily. Meanwhile, Murphy is trying to put a lap on Pepper. So Pepper will have blue flags at this point. Murphy goes to the inside. He's late on the brakes. Oh, a little bit of contact there. As we see, this is Tempera versus Hansel. Once again, Hansel didn't make it past previously, which I was expecting him to make it past quite easily. But it looks like Hansel has now made it past. But of course he's due a pit stop in maybe 5 laps. Peter McIntyre looked like he was going very slowly there, but I think it was just the fact that he was next to GTPs.
I think so. They almost make you look as though you're standing still. Oh, there's a bit of a wobble there for Stephen Maxwell. He won't be wanting to do that much
a very big wobble,
this time. Yeah. I don't think Peter was impressed with the overtake there neither. I don't think that was a friendly flash of the lights as it was with Pepper.
Yeah. Confirmation, of course, that Don Parker did manage to go 18 laps on that stint.
So Alex Murphy was about 2 seconds in front of Joshua Martinez when Josh went into the pits. So I'll be interested to see what he's when he comes back out of the pits.
So he is in the pits at the moment. He is just leaving now. And yeah, he's made it out ahead easily.
Yeah.
In fact, it looks like he's grown that gap as well. So, as we see now, Oliveira tucked up behind Mark Kelly. They have got the leaders coming past right now. Maxwell gets past one. He dives to the other side to get past Kelly.
That was close.
Yeah, weaving through GT3s. Tomei with the flash of the lights there. Trying to get through. That's given Maxwell a little bit of breathing room. Forrester makes his way through the GT3s, past Oliveira and then Kelly. So yeah, Maxwell's starting to stretch that gap, it looks like. Tomei got held up slightly to turn 1. Murphy now with a 4.7 second lead. Back to Martinez. In fact, that gap's just grown to over 5 seconds. So Murphy very much in control of this race in the GT3 field. Maxwell in the lead of the GTPs and overall, but certainly wouldn't say he's absolutely dominating. Tomei is still very much in contention.
Yeah, there's not a great deal between them two at all. It's going to go right down to the wire, I think, for that.
It looks like Maxwell's broken the toe, so if it was just the toe that was keeping Tomei sort of looking that aggressive, we will see, because that gap should theoretically start to grow a little bit now that Tomei has lost the slipstream.
Yeah, it should do. Well, he's moving out towards 2 seconds difference as well, so yeah, it looks as though Stephen will be trying to make that break now and break the toe and move out. So all the pit stops will have been completed now, won't they, Mark?
Not quite. So most people, if you're on the standard strategy, yes, all pit stops are done. The exception is Hansel, who we are expecting in the pits in about 3 laps' time.
Ah, yes.
Pepper may or may not make it to the end. That's going to be close. That's Pepper Senior. Pepper.
Yes, I think if he doesn't come into the pits for a splash and dash, I think he's going to be struggling towards the end. He's got to fuel save the whole of this this last stint, so he's going to be taking it very carefully. Yeah,
so Steve Pepper, he's done 7 laps so far, so he's got maybe 8 or 9 laps left in the tank. And with 13 minutes. So yeah, it very much depends on, well, where the GTP leader is.
Well, considering
where exactly he is on track.
It's a 2-minute lap, and we've got about 20 minutes left. So 17, 18 minutes left, because obviously the clock's slightly in front. So he'll be taking it very steady.
Yeah, of course he's got Zach Liebold about 8 seconds behind him. So yeah, it's certainly possible to make it to the end. It's going to be tricky though. See, that's Danny Chan just peeking to the inside of Ben Chalcraft. Thinks better of it though. to that's Gavin Kelly. It's having a fairly quiet race, to be honest, other than that spin on exit.
Yeah, really, only the top two have been anywhere close to each other, and it's been very close. Oh, sorry, it's very close. It's been very quiet for the rest of the pack, really.
Yeah, although, having said that about the top two, look what's happened. Maxwell's lead's up to 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds now. Gets a bit held up in traffic, but I definitely think that, yeah, Maxwell has the pace at this race, and it was just the slipstream that was keeping Tomei in the running.
And that's Danny Chan slipping down the inside of Ben Chalcraft.
That is.
I'm not sure whether I'm not sure whether Ben was distracted there by the GTPs and just let his mind wander a little bit, and Chan took advantage of that.
It's easily doable, yeah. Oh, see a puff of smoke.
Smoke.
That's Sampera going very slowly. And that's allowed Chalcraft to get ahead of Chan. Can Chalcraft go all the way around the outside of Tempera? No, they can't. They make contact. Tempera into the wall.
Heavy contact there.
And bounces back onto the track. He's holding his brakes, and Buller decides that, wow, if that wasn't enough action, he may as well go rally driving as well. Straight across the grass.
Interesting to see what happened there. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that. Chalcraft to be looking to see that, or making sure there's no damage on his car.
So there's the contact with Tempera.
Yeah, that's what the catalyst was.
Yeah, that's what bunched all these cars up, and then the two just made contact in the middle of the straight.
Yeah.
And then what happened with Buller?
So, just slight convergence in the middle of the corner, look.
Yeah. And Buller just decided to... Oh, he just went late on the brakes. You know what it is? I think, llamas eat grass, don't they? Maybe his llama was just getting hungry. Oh, that's Maxwell Round!
Maxwell Round, yes.
So that's with about 10 minutes to go. Our race leader, who was looking like he was building up a dominant lead, has thrown it all away. That's just handed this race to Tomei on a silver platter. Tomei now with a 5-second lead.
Yeah, I mean, at this point of the race, that's a huge mistake.
That is. So Maxwell will be kicking himself. 4.3 seconds, so 4.6 seconds now to Tomei ahead. We know that Maxwell's quicker, but I don't think he's that much quicker to be able to recover a 5-second deficit.
Yeah, he's got 30, so he's got like 7 laps. He's got about 7 laps to try and do it.
Yeah, that's about, 8/10 a lap. But, I don't know, if it was sort of 2 or 3/10 a lap, then yeah, possibly.
Yeah, we're still up at 5.2 seconds, so we'll see how that comes down in the next couple of laps.
Max Ridder, he's had a fairly quiet racing debut. Just quietly sat there in the top 10.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
So there's Martinez ahead of Carl Hudson. Martinez obviously in second on the road, our pole sitter for the GT3 field. In fact, this is becoming a bit of a family affair, because obviously we've got Peppers, who are father and son. Those two, Martinez, I believe, is Carl Hudson's nephew.
That's correct, yeah. They'll be making songs out of it next. Being a family affair.
So Kits has really closed up on... No, he hasn't, sorry. That's me misreading the relative display.
We've just got offline there. I'm not sure whether that was a connection problem that showed him offline or what. Don't know.
Could well have been, yeah. So yeah, Stephen Maxwell, he's maybe closed in a tenth or two on Tommy, but yeah, that gap's not coming down anywhere near as quickly as it needs to.
No, it's almost stabilised. In fact, it's actually grown at 5.7 seconds now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hansel has closed in on Pepper. In fact, Hansel's just exited the pits. So that's what's promoted Pepper up to 10th momentarily. But yeah, Hansel with a fresh rubber. Looks like he will demote Pepper to 11th. Although Pepper's fighting back. Oh, a little bit of contact just on exit, but...
I'd say that was
very
fair.
Opportunistic there from Pepper. Yeah, certainly fair.
But he certainly wasn't giving that place up to Hansel.
No. Meanwhile, as Kelly weaves around the GT3 traffic in 4th place. So yeah, that is Hansel still tucked up behind Pepper, not able to make the move stick just yet. Very late on the brakes, almost into the back of Pepper, but not quite. It looks like it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, sorry, Mark.
Steve.
It looks like Leopold has caught Pepper Senior too. There he is. Look. No, that was James Poppering. My apologies. Yeah, Leopold is right on the back of Pepper.
Meanwhile, we've had a change for position. Haynes has gotten past Kits, and Hansel has got past Pepper Jr. Leopold looking at making the move on Pepper.
Pepper
He's having to
Senior
do a lot of lifting coast.
Definitely lifting coasting, definitely.
That was a big old lift. Meanwhile, Kits and Haynes, they're still at it. The little bit of contact, a little bit of rubbing through the hairpin.
Leopold's still not able to get past Pepper though.
Oh, listen to the lift
lift.
and coast.
Huge lift. He hasn't. Wow.
Yeah, well, Pepper's
Although
got
with
maybe 3 laps of fuel.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Matt.
Pepper has about
Go
3
ahead.
laps of fuel, and just looking at it, he's just been lapped by the lead GTP cars.
Saying with lifting so early, he'll be able to go deeper into the corners though. So Leopold, although he'll be flat out right to where his normal braking point would be, he's not able to brake as late as Pepper because obviously the difference in speed. So Pepper's going deeper into the corners, so it negates a little bit of the ability to pass him on the corners.
Yeah, definitely. Kits with a slight little scrape of the wall as we see Clayton Buller getting too much onto the curb, trying to find some more grass because his llama is hungry. Nope, there's no grass out there, Clayton.
It's an airfield.
He's had a look. Nope, no grass. Let's go back to the track.
Oh dear.
Murphy, meanwhile, has extended his lead up to 7.5 seconds. As we see Fabio Oliveira now next car to receive blue flags. So the timer has now run out, but as you say, Steve, it's a little bit offset because of the formation lap.
Yeah, that's
So
it. We will get white flags, so we'll know that that's the last lap.
Yeah. So Tomei, that gap between Tomei and Maxwell is coming down slowly. The gap's now down to 4 seconds. But yeah, it's just not coming down quickly enough. Although there's 3.5 seconds now, 0.4. Has something happened to Tomei?
It appears to be.
They're now nose to tail. Has Tomei had a spin?
Well, he's had a spin or an off track, or he's being held up by a GT3 or something. But there they are, back together.
And Maxwell, after, well, you've got to say dominating the final stint until he threw it all away, looked to have thrown away the entire race. He's now right back in it.
Definitely. And now it's for Tomei to try and stop Maxwell getting past.
So we can see Clayton Buller retiring the car. He did try and search for some grass for that llama to eat, but couldn't find any, so he's calling it a day. Meanwhile, that was Maxwell trying it round the outside of Tomei for the overall lead. Don't think he's going to make that one stick, or will he? Meanwhile, Leopold, as you say, Steve, still behind Pepper. Still fighting side by side, these two. And that GT3 is going to make things interesting. Oh, Tomei got through. Maxwell had to wait a little bit. Pepper still managing to defend from Leopold.
Maxwell trying really hard there, get the power on just as he come out of that corner.
Yeah. half a second behind. He can still win this. He's just running out of time. And Tomei gets boxed in slightly by the GT3. So does Maxwell, but... And Maxwell up the inside. And he's got the position. He's made it stick.
What a move. That was a real damn dare moment.
Yeah. That's a great move from Maxwell. But yeah, I certainly think this isn't over just yet. Did we get white flag this time? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
So
we're just keeping going.
Yeah, so it'll probably be this lap and then one more, perhaps?
Possibly, yeah.
So yeah, Tomei all over the back of Maxwell. Desperate to try and get that victory. Not sure how many victories Tomei has had, sort of overall victories in the LOA so far. I know he's incredibly quick, is Tomei, but unfortunately often makes a few silly mistakes. And so the results so far haven't really reflected his pace. But yeah, he's had a brilliant race so far this time. He looks at the inside, not going to be close enough to make that work. As we see Kits, unfortunately, having a little adventure through Sunset. That's not going to cost him any positions. And there is the white flag. So this is the final chance for Tomei to get that position, wrestle it back from Maxwell. Oh, Tomei was a little bit too deep into 3. Yeah, that's just opened the gap out a little bit. He's way too far back to have a go here. And really that only leaves Sunset as the next real overtaking opportunity. Pepper, meanwhile, still trying to defend from Leopold. In fact, no, Leopold's got ahead of Pepper. He's now defending from Kelly.
Yeah, there won't be much in the tank at all, especially with the still got one lap to go after this, so he's going to be really struggling for fuel.
Yeah, we're going to see huge lift and coast. So yeah, the gap's up to a second for the lead. It looks like, against all odds, Maxwell has managed to recover this one. Tomei will try everything. He'll be praying for a mistake from Maxwell. A flash of the lights.
I think he's just conceded.
Yeah. So in a race where we've seen both of the, well, in fact, all of the top 3 in the race make mistakes that lost them the lead. Overall, first across the line and the winner of the GTP class, Stephen Maxwell.
Yeah, congratulations.
What
well
a
done.
finish.
Yeah, very close.
Alex Murphy, meanwhile, with about half a lap to go. He's built the gap up to 8.5 seconds to Martinez, so yeah, unfortunately it's not going to be anywhere near as exciting a finish in the GT3 field. But what we do have is a man that has barely put a foot wrong all race. Yeah, it looks like Mark Kelly's got ahead of Steve Pepper. Pepper looks like he's going to be under attack from Oliveira.
Yeah, it's going to be close towards the end. That time coming down all the time.
Pepper, of course, trying to go a whole lap longer than anyone else has managed to. And there is Alex Murphy across the line.
Yeah, congratulations to Alex, well done.
And looks like Pepper just about held it from Oliveira. So yeah, Pepper managed to eke out that fuel to the end. So there is our podium for the GTP field. Maxwell takes the win from Tomei and Parker. Rob Miller getting both the fastest lap and pole position. So yeah, Maxwell getting the full 50 points. Miller getting the extra bonus points for pole and fastest lap.
The GT3 podium there, Alex Murphy taking top spot with Joshua Martinez and David Ward, and then the spoils spread with between Alex and Josh for the pole and fastest lap. And as you can see, the final results there, Alex Murphy and Joshua Martinez and David Ward into podium, all the way down to 22nd. 22 drivers on the grid. Fantastic turnout there for the GT3s.
And then looking at the overall standings, the top two, because they weren't racing, they are unchanged. Hugaveen from Malarin. Maxwell has jumped up to 193 points though, up into third, and yeah, really in striking distance of the top two. Maxwell, of course, our previous prototype champion. Towards the back of the field, we've got Bright, Barry, Winstade, Manaman, Rudd, Brown, Zeph, and Renwick from 15th to 22nd. And in the team standings, Wizards first, second and third, with Black Sapphire from 5, Ruby from Rose Gold, Stupid Aguri in 4th, McLeod in 5th, Extra Racing in 6th, Cubed Motorsport 7th, Speed Eagles 8th, Stabby Geese in 9th, and the Vikings in 10th. Tenacious Tortoises in 11th, the only other point scorers.
In the GT3, we've got Joshua Martinez out front with 214 points, followed by Ben Crook 189, very close there. Jay Pratt in third, 162. Jack Haynes not far behind in fourth, 157, followed by Oliver Ettridge and David Ward, Ben Chalcraft, Oliver Walker, Kyle Hudson, Clayton Buller, Alex Murphy there, both tied on 51. Rich Meesters, Nathan Alul, John Cook and David Lecheltelier. And then following there, we've got 16th with Mike Murphy, Danny Chan, Matt Ansell, Graham Barsley, Paolo Tempera, Charles Kitts, Philip Miles, Stephen Greening, Mark Innes and James Pepper tied on 15 points. Steve Pepper and Mark Kelly now tied on 11 points with Charlie Langridge and Merrick Kishka. And we still have more, because I think it's about 40 drivers or so. It's been brilliant this season for the GT3s.
Strong field.
Yeah, very exactly a bold there with 30th and 7 points. Max Davida with 6 points straight in there, followed by Fabio Oliveira, Simon Norton, Kenneth Olive, Pete McIntyre, Ryan Suzuki and Stephen McCann. Everybody else from Sandstock down has yet to score in the championship points. I think there's another couple of 3 at the end of the year, just to round out the tables. And then we'll take a quick look at the teams. Here we have the teams. JPR Sports in the lead with 319 points, and Revolution E-Racing 266. Podium place then for Risky Racing 140. It should be Nebula Lama, my apologies, 148 points, and Risky Racing in 4th place with 147. Followed by Minardi Sim Sport, Stupid Aguri, Cool Camel Green, Formula Armour, Wizards GT3, Life Sim Racing, Revolution E-Racing Echo, Racing for Algarve, One Leg Wonder and Cool Camel Racing Blue. After that we have Lamageddon in 14th place, followed by Speed Eagles GT3, Team SBR, Safari Nation Racing, and the rest at 0 points. Stephen, it's nice to see that you've got top step of the podium again, and just anybody noticing, anybody wanted to know, we're doing interviews with the drivers finishing in the top position. So Stephen, welcome to the interview booth. Can you tell us how did your race go?
It was a blast, to be honest. Right from the get-go, it looked like it was a good chance of it being a three-way fight between myself, Chow, and Rob. Unfortunately, he had an accident there in Sunset, and after that, I thought I was going to walk away with it for a little bit, and then towards the end of the first stint, made a mistake, and the entire rest of the race was basically me and Chow digging it out.
Yeah, I noticed that. So, yeah, didn't you have a little bit of an incident yourself as well when you lost it in turn 1 or turn 3, I think it was?
So towards the end of stint 1, I had a lockup in turn 2. Nice. That kind of ate up a fair bit of my time. I think I was like 5 or 6 seconds ahead of Zhao at that point, so that kind of destroyed that lead. And then in the third stint, I was setting up the over-under on a GT3 going through the final corner of that complex there, so it was at turn 4. Yep. And they ended up, I guess they were going to let me through, so they went wide on the corner, and it threw off their speed, threw off my gauge of their speed, and I locked up, trying not to punt them. So that gave Zhao a nice little 4 or 5 second cushion once I got all sorted, and I was pretty much resigned to the fact that unless Zhao made a mistake, that it was going to be a second place finish for me. But he was nice enough to make a mistake for me.
Yeah, I noticed.
Last few laps turned into a nice little battle.
Yeah, and I noticed from the off-board cameras that give you a nice little flash on the back straight to acknowledge that he'd actually lost touch with you and you were going to win it. So yeah, that was a nice little touch for him.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Stephen. It's been an absolute pleasure. And the next race, looking forward to Road Atlanta.
Not my favorite track, just because of my experience at it, and also it's following the official Petit Le Mans.
Petit Le Mans, yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward to it. Hard to say.
Well, best of luck, and fingers crossed we'll maybe see you back on the interview rostrum fairly soon. All right, you take care. Thanks very much for joining us.
Bye.
And joining me now in the interview box, we have Alex Murphy. Welcome, Alex. Nice to see you up here.
Hey. How's it going?
Yeah, good, thank you. First of all, just an apology from Steve Pepper. It was ignoring those blue flags, so a quick apology there, and I'm sure he'll learn from his naughty boy step. But yeah, certainly. Can you tell me, first of all, how your race went, please?
Well, a lot better than I was expecting, that's for sure. I mean, I didn't really have high expectations. Definitely wasn't thinking I would pull out the win, but I just, qualifying seemed like the pace was there, or close enough at least, and with Sebring being P2 for the start, you get the inside of Sunset, so it kind of just gave me a nice spot right from the start. And I know, speaking with Josh after the race, he said that he kind of laid off a little bit to do some fuel saving initially, because he figured he could pull it back in later, but by the time he sort of realized how much the gap had built between the two of us, we were just matching each other's pace for most of the race, so kind of was able to just have a nice casual run at the front somehow.
Yeah, you did seem to just disappear into the distance at one stage. Although I think at one stage, I think Joshua had closed it down to about 6 or 7 seconds. So curiosity, sort of like getting the better of it. What possessed you to go from the GTPs to the GT3s?
Yeah. Well, at the start of the year, the only car that I owned that was being run in the Endurance Series was the GTP. So I was kind of locked into that because I just wasn't very interested in getting another car at the time.
Yeah.
But I've never, I don't enjoy driving the car. I don't know what it is, but it's just the faster cars, like the GTP or the IndyCar. I know it's similar for yourself as well. Like, there's something about it that's just like is less enjoyable somehow. Driving the faster car.
Yeah.
So when the Corvette and the Mustang came out, I got the Corvette, and originally that's what I was going to switch to. Mm-hmm. But when I was speaking with Marin about it, he wanted me to give the McLaren a go instead, and I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. Because it's been almost 4 months now since I had done an endurance round. Like, I think I did Watkins Glen, which was right after the Corvette had released.
Yeah.
But I hadn't done a race since then. So after that long of a period, it's like, okay, do I really, like, after 4 months of not driving the GTP, do I want to drive it again? Not really. So I asked, can I switch to the GT3? Marin said, yeah, but do the McLaren instead, basically.
Well, it was a good switch for you. It certainly, you did extremely well in the McLaren. So yeah, that was a very good switch.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, there's gonna be an update soon. I know the McLaren already got an early update, but it seems a little strong still. Yeah. Especially like the fuel usage seemed a little kind of unbalanced compared to the other cars.
Yeah, it certainly did. So moving on to the next race, are you as I asked Stephen before, are you going to be enjoying and looking forward to Road Atlanta?
I mean, I definitely have higher expectations now, and Road Atlanta is a pretty fun course. Maybe not in the GTPs, but GT3, I think it's quite nice. The McLaren doesn't really like touching curbs very much, so I'm a little concerned about some of the corners there, but
plenty of curbs
overall, hopefully we can. Yeah, I'm assuming Josh will be running, so hopefully we can kind of be around his pace again, and some of the other guys at the front of the field, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and best of luck for the rest of the GT3 season. I'll see you on track sometime.
Thank you.
All right, take care, Alex. Thanks a lot.
Well, there you have it. Interviews with our winners. Up on the screen now are links to our social media, our Discord. If you want to get involved in the racing, click on the link, come and say hello. Other than that, all that's left to do now is say thank you very much for watching and goodbye from me and Steve. So, goodbye.
Yeah, take care everybody, and we'll see you in the next race at Road Atlanta. Everybody take care. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Good night.
Bye.